Good morning, everybody. This is Eduardo Calvo. I'm Executive Director of the El Paso MPO. For those out there on cyberspace, letting you know that we're going to start the meeting in about a couple minutes. And so bear with us. It'll be 2 or 3 minutes more. Thank you. All right. Good morning, everybody. Again, my name is Eduardo Calvo. I'm the Executive Director of the El Paso MPO. Welcome to the July meeting of the Transportation Policy Board. So before we begin, we have to take care of some business here. Chair Blanco and Vice Chair Perea are not in attendance, so the first thing we need to do is elect a chair for this meeting. So with that,
I make a motion that we elect Mayor Johnson as chair of the meeting.
Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you.
You are chair.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the meeting. Today is a little bit of a different meeting because we have the County Commissioners Court and the TPB Board at the same time. So it's going to flow a little bit different than we're used to. But I do want to call this meeting to order, and I want to ask the County Administrator, Michelle, to do the same on her side.
Thank you, Mayor Johnson. Today is Friday, July 18, 2025. It is 9:07 a.m. and a quorum of the County Commissioners Court is present at the El Paso Metropolitan Planning Organization meeting.
All right, so with that, we will proceed to the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Eduardo, would you take roll call, please?
Will do. All right, starting with the Chair Cesar Blanco, Vice Chair Mayor Perea, El Paso County Commissioner Jackie Butler. Roll call. Mayor Rudy Cruz. Representative Chris Canales. Mayor Ramon Cano. Mayor Miguel Chacon. Representative Alejandra Chavez. Senator Joseph Cervantes. Aaron Chavarria. Anthony DeKaiser. Representative R. Fierro. Commissioner Gloria Gameros. Representative Mary Gonzalez. Iber Hernandez. Commissioner Ileana Holguín.
Present.
Mayor Renard Johnson.
Present.
Martin Lerma. City Manager Dion Mack. Representative Joe Moody.
Present.
Representative Eddie Morales. Mayor Diana Murillo. Tony Nevares. Representative Claudia Ordaz. Representative Vince Perez. Mayor Rachel Quintana. Mayor Andres Renteria. Judge Ricardo Samaniego.
Yes, here.
Representative Sarah Silva. And Tomas Trevino.
Here.
All right, so we do have quorum. We have
Michelle?
For the County Commissioners Court, present are County Judge Ricardo Samaniego, Commissioner Ileana Holguín, and Commissioner Jackie Butler.
All right, Eduardo, let's take any public comment that we have.
any public comment, Marisol?
No public comment.
We don't have any public comment for Commissioners Court either.
Eduardo, would you lay out any of the ground rules that we need for today? Ground rules? Is that what's next?
No, I think we proceed now with the, oh, okay, sorry.
I apologize. Thank you for your patience with us. As a matter of expedience, and because the Commissioners Court has adopted the EPMPO agenda with only changes necessary to acknowledge rules or laws that apply to the County Commissioners Court, EPMPO's reading of each agenda item is also considered read in for the County Commissioners Court. In the event there is any action taken by individual members of the Commissioners Court, such action will be deemed taken in his or her capacity as an EPMPO member and not the El Paso Commissioners Court, and therefore, no Commissioners Court action will be noted after each agenda item.
Hopefully everyone has had an opportunity to look at the minutes from the June 20th board meeting, TPP board meeting. And if you have had an opportunity to do that, I would entertain a motion to approve them. Second. Motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, that motion carries.
All right, item number 2 is discussion and action to consider approval of an amendment to the amended Regional Mobility Strategy, RMS 2050 Metropolitan Transportation Plan, MTP, and the RMS 2025-2028 Transportation Improvement Program, TIP, to increase FTA 5307 program funding from $14,091,139 to $18,461,074 for a revised total project cost of $18,461,074 for the capital maintenance fiscal year 5307 project and fiscal year 2026. And this is a Sun Metro project, and we have a brief presentation from Andres Lucero.
Good morning. My name is Andres Lucero. I'm a transportation analyst here at the MPO. So today I'm I'm going to be presenting the amendment for Sun Metro. So I just want to do a little bit of background information. You can move to the next slide, please. So the Transportation Improvement Plan, known as the TIP, is the MPO's 4-year physically constrained plan, in which projects will be funded and when. The TIP helps to implement our long-range master transportation plan, known as the MTP. The State Transportation Improvement Program, known as a STIP, is the equivalent document to the TIP, but for the entire state. Whenever we program or change something in the TIP, we also do it to the STIP. This amendment reflects Sun Metro's project program with the latest assumptions for 5307 funds, which are transit funds for large urban areas for fiscal year 2026. This item is to approve the amendment to this project in the MTP and TIP to including the amendment in the August amendment to the Texas STIP. Next slide, please. So the specifics about this request is to amend the capital maintenance FFY 25 5307 project to increase FDA 5307 funding from $14,091,139 to $18,461,074 for a revised total project cost of $18,461,074 in fiscal year 2026. The recommended motion is to amend the amended Regional Mobility Strategy RMS 2050 MTP, the RMS 2025-2028 Transportation Improvement Program, known as the TIP, to increase funding for FTA 5307 from $14,091,139 to $18,461,074 in fiscal year 2026.
Before we take a vote on this item, is there any questions for Andres? Hearing no questions, I would entertain a motion to approve his recommendation.
So moved. A second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you, Andres.
Thank you.
Item number 3.
Yeah, I'm sure Mr. De Kaiser is happy with more money for Sun Metro. All right, item number 3. Item 3 is to consider approval of an amendment to the Regional Mobility Strategy RMS 2025-2028 Transportation Improvement Program TIP to program the Border Highway Connector construction phase project with a total project cost of $170 million, contingent upon the provision of funding toward the total project cost from the New Mexico State Legislature. With this, Mayor, before we get into the discussion, a little bit of background. There was a lot of movement on this item this past week, the last few days. So we're going to ask, after any discussion, if any questions that you have, to amend slightly the motion. But with this, in the backup information, you have a lot of information about the project itself. Aaron Chavarria here from New Mexico DOT can answer a lot of the technical questions. This is a Border Highway Connector project that we've been talking about a lot, a very good project that will provide another access point to the Santa Teresa area connecting into Sunland Park and eventually, to the network leading to Texas and to the city of El Paso. So we also provided you during the week a couple of letters that were received from New Mexico DOT, and actually the last one, the response from Federal Highway, is what drives the need to amend the motion. And this is to program the project into Appendix D of our TIP. You may recall that we've done this a lot for projects on the Texas side. This is a little bit different because we're doing it on the New Mexico side, and so that explains back and forth. And finally, the green light that we received from Federal Highway, which is the last letter that we provided in your backup on, I believe it was Wednesday night. So with that, if you have any questions, happy to answer.
So Eduardo, the recommended motion we're seeing there, is that the one that you wanted amended?
No, it's, Marisol, do we have the?
So I know you said you wanted it amended.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I could read it to the record if that helps, Sword.
Thanks, Eduardo. So from my understanding, there's a September infra deadline. What's the status with the legislature's funding? Is it obligated? Are they on track? Are they going to meet that September deadline?
You want to answer that, Aaron, or?
Sure, Mr. Chair. So we are on track. We're supposed to have a special session coming up before August 18th. And then hopefully at that session, we will get the funding for this project.
Okay. I guess at what point will you know if it's on the special session agenda?
We should know within the next couple of weeks if we do have a special session, it will be on the agenda.
Okay. Yeah. And if for whatever reason, let's say if the legislature doesn't, I mean, is the funds at risk if we don't meet that deadline?
Yeah, if we don't meet the September 30th deadline, then we're state of New Mexico will lose the 45 million in progress.
Okay. So they understand the urgency of it?
Yes.
So,
Good question.
So if I can also clarify, the reason why we add projects to Appendix D, the federal rules allow us to do this so that the project development activities can continue, even though the project is not fully funded. But also we're programming this in fiscal year 28, which for the New Mexico tip is not a fiscally constrained year. So that also, helps us and gives us more and more comfort. And one of the reasons why we got the letter from Federal Highway, giving us a green light to do this. But again, on the Texas side, we've done this many times so that project development activities can continue, even though the funding is not 100% established yet. So other activities like approving the NEPA document, which allows to continue with right-of-way acquisition and other activities. So it's unusual, and it's the first time that we do it on the New Mexico side, but we've done it before, so we feel very comfortable with this.
Any other questions for Eduardo on this item number 3? Mr. Eduardo, just to be clear, we're just striking that language that's highlighted in yellow?
Correct. And adding Appendix D and then striking the last part. So I can read the recommended motion to the record okay? All right, so the revised recommended motion would be to approve an amendment to the Regional Mobility Strategy, RMS 2025-2028 Transportation Improvement Program, TIP, to program the Border Highway Connector BHC construction phase project in Appendix D with a total project cost of $170 million.
Any further discussion on this item? All right, hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve this.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Item number 4?
Right. Item number 4 is consider authorizing the executive director to sign a letter of support for TxDOT fiscal year 2026 Unified Transportation Program. In your backup, we provided the draft of the letter. We were very excited that in the draft UTP that hopefully will get approved in August by the Texas Transportation Commission, we were awarded $150 million for the Borderland Expressway project for phase 3 of the project. That is really, really good news because if you recall, the Borderland Expressway was split into 3 phases some time ago. Phase
I so move.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Item number 5, Eduardo.
All right, item 5 is to consider authorizing the executive director to execute our Inc. for the Border Highway Connector Phase 2 Project Management Plan in an amount not to exceed $85,000. So in this one, if you recall, we've been talking about the Border Highway Connector Phase 2 project. The past item was to program the construction phase. What we're calling Phase 2 is really to look at the potential impacts of building this project, the impacts to the local network once it connects to McNutt in the city of Summer Park. We know that all that traffic will, try to find their way to other parts of the metropolitan area, mostly into El Paso. So we've had concerns that some of the facilities in that vicinity may be impacted. So we went and had a good conversation with the New Mexico Border Authority, and we actually received $2 million from the New Mexico legislature to do this study, this Phase 2. So we went through the procurement, and thanks again to the City of El Paso CID for helping us with that. Selected HDR. Last month, he gave us a green light to negotiate the master agreement, which we did, and now we bring you task order number 1. Now, the specifics of task order number 1, it's a relatively small task order with a limited scope, so that we can get them working and start them up with the basic stuff like developing the project management plan and some early public and stakeholder planning activities. In the light of the International Border Crossing Strategic Plan that we're going to talk about later, these two projects have a lot of overlap, so we thought it was really important to bring them on board to make sure that the two teams are working together and doing a good job in coordinating and avoid duplication or even worse, going in opposite directions. So the actual task order is for about the task order is for $77,570.43. So the item was written just to make sure that we did not exceed that.
Do you have the ability to mute the hot mic that's on right now for the Zoom call? Thank you. Are there any questions on this item number for Eduardo? All right, hearing no questions, I would entertain a motion to. Bless you. Motion to approve? So moved. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, Eduardo, you're back up on the executive director's report.
All right, for item 6, the executive director's report, I've got 2 items, starting with the IBC strategic plan. We have a handout here that we wanted to share with you. It's one of the initial work products, which is just a fact sheet of the program. So one of the first activities that we're planning, and many of you already received invitations for this, is to have the kickoff stakeholder meeting, which is happening on August the 6th at the Chamizal, 10 in the morning to noon. We are very, very excited to get this activity started. There's a lot of concern, obviously, but also a lot of interest on the Mexican side as well. We are inviting, all the key stakeholders on the public sector, private sector, on the Mexican side as well. So with this meeting, we want to officially kick off the work. It's important to have the support of everybody in these types of meetings, elected officials, private sector, and so on. But really what is very important for us is that in parallel, we are going to be establishing work groups so that the technical folks can really get together and develop this strategic plan. I think we've presented this plan to you all several times. In general terms, the idea is to look at our 6 border crossings as a system to see what efficiencies we can find by operating them as a system instead of looking at them as 6 individual crossings. But at the same time, the idea here is to build on several of the efforts that are going on right now. The city of El Paso, for example, we know that there's some funding going on. It's not my understanding is not fully approved yet. And we have Roberto Tinajero here if there are any questions about that. But that funding is to do a feasibility study for the Zaragoza Bridge itself, which is a great thing, right? What we need to do is build on that and use that information as well to feed our regional analysis. The same thing building on what the El Paso County is doing specific to the Tornillo crossing, the economic plan that you guys are doing, Judge. The idea really is to build on that, complement and use that information and make sure that whatever we do is consistent with what you're doing there as well with the city. And finally, the same thing with all the stuff that is going on on the New Mexico side for Santa Teresa. There was an announcement recently by the Mexican federal government about a big initiative to develop what they're calling a Polo de Desarrollo, which is a major, development that's going to take time, but it's really to promote industry and on the Mexican side, on the Jeronimo side. So obviously that would be a good initiative for the Santa Teresa region as well. And again, we have Gerardo Fierro here from the New Mexico Border Authority. So with that, very excited that we're going to kick off the study, and hopefully many of you can join and help us and participate. Elected officials, your technical folks as well, and we'll keep you posted as we go through the analysis.
Want to give us the dates and times one more time?
Right, so the kickoff meeting is August the 6th, and it'll be at the Chamizal, in the big room, and 10 to noon. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me a note or call me. Again, if you have any other questions, we can move on.
Very good. All right, item number B.
Okay, item B is the New Mexico State Legislature Transportation Infrastructure Revenue Subcommittee meeting held on July 16th. That was actually on Wednesday. Again, this is another important event. The subcommittee held a meeting here in Santa Teresa at the New Mexico Border Authority offices. We were invited to make a presentation to talk about in general about the MPO. One of the things that I found a little bit interesting was that similar to what happens on the Texas side, many of the legislators that came here are, from the northern part of the state, right? Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and some of the comments that I heard from them was that they haven't been here. It's like, oh, wow, Santa Teresa is growing. There's a lot of movement and so on. And one of my remarks was like, well, you guys have to be here. Similar to what happens in Texas, that we sometimes feel that the rest of the state doesn't pay a lot of attention to us. So that's why it's so important for us to be out there and talking to them, inviting them, participating, but also for them to come in and see us. So I think that was a very successful meeting, and we thank you for the opportunity to present the stuff on the MPO. Important as well, because this committee is important for the Border Highway Connector, for the funding that we were talking about earlier. So it was important for us to also state as, the impact of the Border Highway Connector project at the regional level, right? Again, as an MPO, we look at the region, right? So this is obviously focusing on New Mexico and the benefit for Santa Teresa, but at the same time, as an MPO, we try to bring the regional analysis so that they're not thinking just about their bubble. So for us, it's important to look at the entire impact for the region. So hopefully, Aaron, they left the meeting with a good flavor and they'll help you.
I hope so too.
So with that, that's all I have, Mayor.
All you have. Any questions for Eduardo on any of the executive director's report? I'm definitely gonna hit that. So, all right, I don't believe we have any items for executive session either, Eduardo?
No, we don't.
Our next meeting will be on August 22nd at 9 a.m. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? We are adjourned at 9:33.
All the meetings. 2 hours of my day.
Commissioners Court has